very happy to say that we came into office promising to transform and to revitalize the agri sector and also our rural sector. And in 2012, we took many steps, some of them small steps, some of them significant steps, to ensure that we cause there to be a forward movement towards that goal.
Veterinary and Livestock Services Division, in collaboration with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, or IICA, hosted 2 training seminars for farmers involved in small ruminant production, particularly producers of sheep and goats.
As part of a familiarization with all sections of the agricultural sector, Minister of Agriculture, Food Production, Fisheries and Rural Development on July 27th toured the facilities of Highline Poultry Farm located at Monidon.
There must be a path, there must be a direction, and there must be steps that must be taken to work with the farmers and to work with the industry to ensure that over the next few years we can produce all of the chicken that we eat in St. Lucia.
The Republic of China and Taiwan partnered with St. Lucia in implementing Phase 2 of the Black Sigatoka Rehabilitation Project. On October 4, 2012, a check valued at $1.8 million was handed over to the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Moses Jabatis, by Taiwanese Ambassador to St. Lucia, His Excellency James Chang, as part of Taiwan's special program of assistance.
This plan will continue to assist us with the provision of spraying material, and it will hopefully eradicate this problem of the shortage in spraying material, because we are going to ensure that the buffer that we are looking for is sufficient to carry us through a long period of time.
The Purdia Larceny Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture stepped up its surveillance on people involved in the theft of agricultural produce. On Wednesday, 4th April, officers of the Babino branch of the Purdia Larceny Unit arrested and charged Cosmos Fontenelle, aka Cossie, who resided at Cabbage Babino, for stealing coconuts valued at approximately 80 EC dollars.
Another year has passed. 2013 was a challenging year, but it also presented us with many opportunities.
Officials from the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO, assisted the local agricultural sector in designing an early warning information system for food and nutrition security in St. Lucia. The activity was part of a broader CARICOM food and nutrition policy, which sought to identify some of the more vulnerable groups and individuals in each society who may become prone to hunger. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Production, Fisheries and Rural Development, being the agency responsible for food production on the island, began a process in early 2013 to develop a national food plan for St. Lucia. The approach sought to give every St. Lucian access to safe and affordable nutritious food at all times. The government of St. Lucia during the month of May secured EU funding of $5.9 million to help stimulate output within the agricultural industry. This development was expected to help reposition the agricultural sector, enabling it to become more viable and competitive in the global economy.
Approximately $6.7 million is to go towards supporting initiatives to mold a new cadre of agro-entrepreneurs. This initiative speaks to us planting the needs for a future, prosperous agricultural sector.
A close collaboration between the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards, the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, and the network of national laboratories of the Veterinary Services of the Americas will be vital to ensure the success of this endeavor. Hundreds of local farmers became certified agri-entrepreneurs in 2013 after returning to the classroom for a number of 5-week training programs. The certification exercises form part of an ongoing program of the Agricultural Ministry designed to equip farmers with the entrepreneurial skills needed to enter the world of competition. Meanwhile, the certification program was also introduced to the Grand Riviere Secondary School in the Mabuya Valley.
We get to explore different aspects of it. We get to learn more things that we did not know.
The agricultural sector in 2013 continued to dialogue with other sectors in implementing a restructured school feeding program for St. Lucia. In light of this, ministers responsible for agriculture, health and education participated in a conference on the school feeding programs in Latin America and the Caribbean held in Brazil.
We believe that this generation of leadership has a duty to ensure that we reverse the effects of poor nutrition that we see all around St. Lucia. 2014 was an exciting year. We were on the legislative front. We were able to see the Agriculture and Fisheries Incentives Act in action. We were able to ensure that many applicants receive agriculture and fisheries incentives.
The year 2014 began with much discussion on repairing the damage done to the agricultural sector following the passage of the 2013 Christmas Eve drought. The sector received its fair share of beating, with damages amounting to approximately 60%. FAO's regional representatives for the Caribbean, Dr. Deep Ford, on February 19th, paid a courtesy visit to Agriculture Minister Honorable Moses Jabatis. During the visit, Dr. Ford presented to St. Lucia a check on behalf of the FAO, which was intended to assist the island's agricultural recovery program following the passage of the 2013 December drought. The post-drought rehabilitation program of the agricultural sector picked up much momentum as farmers from throughout the island received government's assistance in a number of areas. The government of St. Lucia made good on its promise by rehabilitating farms affected by the passage of the 2013 Christmas Eve drought. Rehabilitation works were undertaken in several locations on island. The agricultural sector, in response to the 2013 drought system, made headway in bringing non-banana farmers back into full production. Non-banana crop producers whose production were interrupted received bags of fertilizers under the sector's post-drought recovery program.
We're going to work very hard to ensure that the farmers who need the fertilizers, get the fertilizers.
On Thursday, 16 January, the government of Taiwan, through its ambassador to St. Lucia, His Excellency James Chung, handed to the Minister for Agriculture, Food Production, Fisheries, Cooperatives and Rural Development, Honorable Moses Jabatis, a check valued at $806,000 as the initial payment for the Agricultural Diversification Program for the prevention and treatment of the black sigatoka leaf spot disease.
We want to ensure that farmers who continue to yearn to produce bananas and plantains continue to get assistance, technical assistance, so that they can increase their yield.
A hobby gardening tax refund program for St. Lucia took effect for the first time in 2014. The program was announced during the 2013 and 2014 budget address in an effort to encourage householders to get back into the practice of home gardening.
Agriculture and Fisheries Incentives Bill was for the first time presented to Cabinet for debate among members of both the administration and the opposition.
I feel very proud because for a very long time, people who are involved in agriculture and fisheries and in the business of agriculture and the rural economy have lamented that there is no set of incentives, no package of incentives for someone who wants to go into agribusiness. I am very pleased that we have completed another year. There have been many challenges, but at the same time we were able to record a number of successes. We have many success stories. We were able to complete a number of physical projects.
The Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, in partnership with the Geneva-based International Trade Center and the European Union, implemented a €3.5 million project to develop the coconut industry in the Caribbean.
To try to define what are the priorities of the sector and to try to basically make this into a process that leads to concrete market opportunities. Basically, that everything that we are doing and we are working together with the farmers and institutions will be translated into an increased income for the farmers at the end.
St. Lucia's agricultural sector continued efforts to enhance its coconut industry by introducing disease-free plantlets for the sector. During the month of August 2015, 2 batches containing approximately 7,000 coconut plants were imported into St. Lucia from Mexico to help strengthen St. Lucia's dry and water nut industry. The Ministry of Agriculture, Food Production, Fisheries, Cooperatives and Rural Development, in collaboration with the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, in 2015 launched the Conduct of Value Chain Analysis of Specific Crop and Livestock Commodities in St. Lucia. Meanwhile, an agricultural value chain symposium put on by the Trade Export Promotion Agency TIPA and the Agricultural Ministry was held during the month of February 2015 at the Palm Haven Conference Room in Rodney Bay. The theme for the event was Developing a Shared Vision Towards Increasing Agricultural Exports.
Distribution of the fertilizers commenced in all agricultural regions around the island during the week, which began on the 30th of November. The fertilizers were distributed to banana and non-banana producers, as well as schools with kitchen gardens to help increase their production. Distribution of the fertilizers commenced in Soufriere and Babonneau and continued throughout the week in Otsa, the Mabuya Valley, Micoud, and in Vieux-Fort.
Several new batches of agribusinessmen and women from various regions around St. Lucia became certified agri-entrepreneurs after completing a 5-week training program jointly organized by the Extension and Advisory Services Division and the Agribusiness Development Unit of the Department of Agriculture.
Meanwhile, Agriculture Minister Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste undertook a series of tours during the first quarter of 2015 to some of the irrigation facilities on the island. The activity sought to provide first-hand knowledge of the irrigation infrastructure that was available on the island and how they could contribute to the provision of food in St. Lucia.
The development of the livestock industry was one of the areas identified by the government to be a viable alternative to drive the St. Lucian economy. As a result, a diagnostic study was conducted on the livestock industry, which gave rise to a livestock industry development plan.
The Department of Fisheries teamed up with the Taiwan Technical Mission to develop a new aquaculture technical extension manual for the aquaculture industry. The manual was presented to aquaculture farmers and prospective farmers of the industry at a one-day training workshop held at the Orchid Garden Center. At the start of 2015, fishers at Poile and Savants Bay saw promises transformed into action when the sword turning and check handing over ceremony to commence construction of 2 jetties was held.
The government of St. Lucia, $824,922.56. This will be handed to the accountants, which will go to the Treasury of St. Lucia.
The 2 coastal areas are known to provide livelihood opportunities for residents of surrounding communities in the areas of sea moss cultivation and fish landing. Users of the resource were quite pleased with the development. They noted that the jetties would assist them in securing their vessels while attracting more economic activities to the communities in areas of fishing and in tourism. Both facilities were completed and were being used by the second quarter of the year. Fishers of Savants Bay are enjoying the use of a jetty for the first time, while in Poile, the fishers benefited from the erection of a sound structure.